I am Kovid Goyal, the creator of Calibre, and in this video I will give you a brief tour of Calibre's new ebook editor. You can use the ebook editor to edit books in both the EPUB and AZW3 formats. AZW3 is the format used by Amazon's Kindle. To get started, simply select a book you want to edit in Calibre, right-click and choose Edit Book. As you can see, the editor opens up with all the files inside the book on the left. To start editing, simply select a file and double-click on it. The editor has three major areas. On the left, you'll see the Files browser. This is where you can see a list of the individual files inside your book, HTML files for the actual text of the book, style files that define the formatting used in your book, images, fonts, etc. In the central panel is the actual editor where you can open individual files and make changes to them. On the right, you see the live preview panel. This live preview panel shows you a live preview of whatever changes you make in the central panel. So for example, if I change the title here from something else to text formatting, you will see that change being reflected in the live preview panel as it happens. The live preview panel also syncs with the editor. So if you scroll down in the editor to some other location and click there, the live preview panel will also change its location to show you where in the editor you are. Similarly, you can click inside the live preview panel and the position in the editor will change corresponding to where you clicked. The editor contains various specialized tools that help with the task of editing the HTML and CSS that you find in a typical ebook. The first such tool that I will talk about is the Beautify tool. Often HTML inside an ebook is not well formatted. It is all run together and difficult to read, as you can see here. By clicking the Beautify tool, which is this little flower button on the toolbar, the editor will automatically insert blank lines, indent paragraphs, etc. to make the text more readable. This has no effect on the actual rendered version of the book, but it makes the source code easier to read. As you move your cursor through the text in the HTML file, the editor will automatically highlight the tag that you're inside. So for example, here you're in a paragraph tag, here you're in a bold tag, and so on. Another thing to note is that the editor automatically shows the contents of heading tags, bold tags, etc. in a bold font. This makes it easy to locate headings and important phrases in a large file. The editor also has convenient buttons for commonly used operations such as making text bold or changing its color. As you can see, the text has become bold and red. You can also easily insert images into the text by clicking the Insert Image button. This will show you a list of images currently in your book, and you can import a new image by clicking the Import Image button. And there you have it. We have a new image inserted into the book. Another nice feature of the editor is that links in the editor are clickable. So wherever you have a link, for example, here is a link to a footnote, you can hold down the Control key and click to open the link. The target of the link is highlighted and opened in a separate editor panel. This is a very convenient way to follow links and make changes to the linked content. Similarly, you can click on links to style sheets and they will also be opened in a separate panel in the editor. The editor also has inline help. I often find myself forgetting the details of the various different CSS properties. You can right-click on any CSS property, for example here text indent, and you get a menu entry to show help for text indent. Clicking on this entry will open up a help page for text indent in your browser. This help page includes the syntax of the property, its different values, some simple examples of using it. This is very convenient. It works not just for CSS properties but also for HTML tags. For example, if you click on the DL tag, you get a help page for DL and so on. If you wish to understand exactly why some text in your book looks the way it does, the editor has a very handy tool called Live CSS. Go to the View menu and click Live CSS. This tool will show you exactly what CSS matches the tag that your cursor is currently inside. So for example, if you put it inside the H2 tag here, in the live CSS view on the right, you'll see a list of all the CSS properties defined for that tag in your book, as well as CSS properties that are inherited from its parent tags, and finally all the computed final styles that apply to the H2 tag. You can easily click on the links in the live CSS panel, which will take you directly to the location in the style sheet where the rules are defined, and you can edit them there to make any changes that you like. The live CSS panel is a great way to explore your book and see what CSS styles are applied to what text. Now let us change gears for a bit and talk about tools that work on the book as a whole as opposed to individual files inside the book. The first and most useful such tool is Check Book. As the name suggests, this tool will check your book for errors, typos, etc. that prevent the book from working as you intended. To demonstrate this tool, let me introduce a couple of deliberate errors into the book. So first, I'll change this link to an image, changing the name from back.png to back2.png. Now this means that there's no such image and it won't work when you try to view the book. Similarly, I'll go to the OPF file in the book and change the media type of the cover image from JPEG to PNG. Now the media type and the actual type of the image mismatch. Let us see if Checkbook can help us. To run Checkbook, click the ladybird icon on the toolbar. And as you can see, Checkbook has found the errors and listed them for us. You can click on any of the entries in the list, and on the right hand side you'll get a description of the error and what you can do to fix it. One of the nicest features of Checkbook is that it can often fix many errors automatically. So you have an action, try to correct all fixable errors automatically, and clicking that will cause Checkbook to fix all the fixable errors automatically. Also, you can double click on any entry in the list and Checkbook will take you to the location in the book where that error occurred. So for example, I double clicked on the entry for back2.png, and as you can see, it opened, and here we can correct the error manually. Let us let Checkbook correct the media type mismatch error by itself, which is this error. So we have an action, change the MIME type for this file back to image JPG. You do that, Checkbook will correct the error and rerun, and it has found no problems. And looking at the file, you see that the MIME type has been changed automatically back to JPEG. This is a very useful technique for making sure that no silly typos or errors prevent your book from working as you intended. The next tool I discuss will be for the lovers of fonts. The Manage Fonts tool can be accessed by clicking this button on the toolbar. It will open up a dialog that shows you a list of all the fonts in your book. As you can see here, this book has Ubuntu, Ubuntu Mono, and Verdana. Supposing I decide I don't like the Verdana font and I want to change it, I can click on it to select it and click Change Selected Fonts. Simply type in the name of the replacement font, so say here Kandara, and click OK. As you can see, the font has been changed. It has also been changed in the actual text. Another useful feature is that this tool can embed all referenced fonts in your book. So for example, in this book, although the Ubuntu fonts are already embedded, the Kandara font is not. I can simply click Embed All Fonts, and it will embed every single font that is referenced in the book that is not already embedded, in this case Kandara. You can see exactly what changes were made by the tool by clicking See What Changed. As you can see, an entry for the font files has been added to the content.opf file, and an entry for the font has been added to the CSS file as well. If you don't like the changes, you can click Revert Changes to undo them. The final sub-tool is Subset All Fonts. What subsetting of fonts does is it reduces the size of the font files by limiting the fonts to only contain the glyphs corresponding to the characters actually present in the book. So for example, if I subset all fonts here, you can see that the font sizes have been reduced by approximately 50% for all the various fonts embedded in the book. Since we are talking about tools that work on the entire book, all the files inside the book at once, let me describe one tool that helps make working with these tools more robust, the Checkpoint tool. The Checkpoint tool allows you to create save points or checkpoints that save the current state of your book. If you then run some large operation that alters many files throughout your book and you don't like the results, you can simply revert back to the saved point with a single click. To start the checkpoint tool, go to the view menu and select checkpoints. You can see a list of checkpoints on the left. You can create a new checkpoint by clicking the pin icon on the toolbar. Let's name it something like before large operation. And you see that the checkpoint has been created. Now let's do some large operation that we'd like to revert. So let's do a search and replace. Let's replace the text "and" with a bold version. And let's run the search and replace on all text files. So we do a replace all. We see that 26 occurrences of "and" have been replaced. And you do OK. So you can see that in the text files everywhere "and" has been made bold in all text files. Now you can't use a normal undo button to undo this change, because undo works only on an open file at one and only on a single file. So we can instead use the checkpoints. We can, for example, select this checkpoint. If you want to see the differences between the saved checkpoint and the current state, simply select the checkpoint and click compare, and the editor will show you all that has changed. You can see that the word "and" has been made bold in all the text files in this book. If you wish to revert back to the selected checkpoint, you can simply click revert to, and you will see that the word "and" is no longer bold in all the text files. You might also have noticed that the editor automatically created a checkpoint before running the replace all operation. This is a common theme with all the major tools in the editor. They all create checkpoints automatically before running, so that in case you forget to create a checkpoint, you can use the automatically created checkpoint to revert the operation. No text editor can be complete without a spell check. The Calibre editor too has a spell check. There is an inline spell check where any words that the editor thinks are misspelled are highlighted with an underline. You can simply right-click on a misspelled word to get a list of alternate suggestions, or to tell the editor to ignore the particular word. There's also a dedicated spell check tool which you can access by clicking this icon on the toolbar. It presents you with a list of all the words in the book that it thinks are misspelled. You can easily correct words in bulk using this dialog. You can also ask it to show all words, not just misspelled words, which is a good way of getting a summary of all the words used in the text, along with counts of how often they are used. The spell check features in the editor support user-installed dictionaries in the OpenOffice dictionary format, and they can spell check multilingual documents by automatically parsing the HTML to see what language a text is supposed to be spelled in. The final tool I'll discuss today is the Table of Contents editor. This allows you to edit the table of contents in the ebook in a convenient fashion. Just click the Table of Contents editor button, and you get a dialog that allows you to edit the table of contents. As you can see, the existing table of contents is to the left. You can easily create a new entry by clicking the Create a New Entry button. This opens up a new dialog with a list of all the book files in your book. So say let's open up a particular file, and if you want to create a table of contents entry that points to any particular location, just click on that location. So for example, let me click here and give it a name. So college table, and click OK, and this automatically creates an entry in the table of contents that points to this location in the book. As you can see, this dialog is exceedingly easy to use. You simply have to browse the book and find the location where you want your table of contents entries to point. Click OK, and the changes are made to the table of contents in the book. I hope that this video has shown you that the Calibre ebook editor is very powerful and an excellent way to edit files in both the EPUB and Kindle formats. Thank you for watching.